mean, I'm looking forward to seeing this Jets offense. But what are you looking forward to specifically to see from the Jets offense with Rodgers under center for however long that is?
Yeah, Rodgers is very intentional with his words. He's also very intentional with his choices, his targets. And I think there's going to be a lot to learn from watching to see who gets those targets and how, even if it is just 1 or 2 drives. All offseason long, we have heard the comparisons between Garrett Wilson and Davante Adams. But the thing he had with Davante Adams that made that connection so special was that implicit trust that if he threw it to his back shoulder, Adams would come down with it. He could attempt any tight window throw. So I'd like to see, is that symbiosis there yet with Garrett Wilson? And then after him on the depth chart, assuming Allen Lazard, who of course he has familiarity with, is number 2. Does Mecole Hardman get targets to number 3? We're hearing about Randall Cobb climbing up, his old friend, in camp. I think there'll be a lot to learn, and I think it'll be really important because last season in Green Bay, you could really argue the lack of trust between Aaron Rodgers and those young wide receivers really tanked the Green Bay offense at times. Is that trust there in New York? We're not going to know right away, but I think we're going to get a little bit of a glimpse at it, even in a limited outing.
Yeah, and Mina, Randall Cobb's going to play, right? Because he is Aaron Rodgers' closest friend on the team.
Of course
and trust
he's going to play.
certainly matters to Rodgers, especially in these new surroundings. Graz, of course, the big story all preseason with the Jets, besides the fact that they now have a 4-time MVP as their quarterback, has been the health and at times poor play of the offensive line. What do we know about their plans for that unit tomorrow?
Well, look, I think Mekhi Becton on the right side at right tackle is the key thing to watch because he was just named the starting right tackle this week, and it's a switch for him. He's played left tackle his whole life. They're hoping to go with Dwayne Brown, the veteran, at left tackle, but he was just cleared off the PUP list this week, so you're not going to see him in the game. He's not ready for that. They're hoping he may be ready for week 1. But, yeah, the tackle position is what we've had our eye on all offseason for the Jets, and if that can hold up, then I think a lot of the concerns will be answered. But a lot of that has to do with the health of Dwayne Brown, the 38-year-old veteran, and the ability of Mekhi Becton to transition from the left side to the right side and stay healthy, something he hasn't been able to do the last couple of years.
That's 100% true, Dan. Mekhi Becton has played just 1 game over the past 2 seasons because of various injuries. Thankfully, looking the healthiest he's been in several years, but now he's moving from left tackle to right tackle. And that might not sound like a big deal. You're still playing offensive line, you're still pass protecting, you're still run blocking. But when you talk to NFL offensive linemen, it is not an easy move. Your footwork is different, your punch hand is different, you're moving differently, you're thinking about your muscle memory. The stuff you've been doing for years on the left side, now you're doing differently on the right side. And that's going to take some time for Mekhi Becton to adjust, a player who is still recovering from knee issues. He has not been able to practice 100% week after week, day after day. He's still a work in progress, and this is not a team that has time to deal for works in progress. They have a terrible schedule to start the season, terribly difficult, and they have a 39-year-old quarterback who wants to win a Super Bowl this year. So Mekhi Becton has to figure this out on the fly.
Yeah, Bill, I remember when I covered the Giants talking to David Deal 1 year in training camp. He was moving from left to right or right to left. He moved all over the place, played every position on the line for the Giants. But I said, how long does it take you to make the switch if you're going from right to left tackle or left to right tackle? He said 3 weeks. I need 3 weeks, and then everything seems natural. Now, of course, that was a veteran who had played it before and was used to making those kinds of changes, whereas Becton's a young player who hasn't. But even then, I mean, you're talking about, what, a couple of weeks till the season starts.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.